Mike Murdoch, those who know something you don't know usually have something you don't have. Those who know what you don't know have achieved something you haven't achieved. I'm sitting at Oral Roberts University with 3,000 preachers. A man gets up and he starts talking. Within 5 minutes, I said to myself, I've never heard a man talk like this. I turned to Jesse, my assistant. I handed my American Express and said, go buy one of everything he's got. He came back with my cars with a sneer on his face. And he says, it's going to cost you $1,500 to buy one of everything, which is 2 videos and a little 40-page book, something like that. I said, son, go buy one of everything he's got. I want to know every thought that man's ever had. Are you sure it's worth it? You think it's worth $1,500, what he said. I said, oh, son, I'm worth $1,500. I would never spend more money on a car than I would my brain. Why would I buy a car for $30,000 or $40,000 and wouldn't buy a book for $40? He brought it back. He was an Australian billionaire, Peter J. Daniels. We became friends. We spent hours together. I never heard a speaker surpassing him in my lifetime. He was an illiterate bricklayer in Australia who got saved. Told you this a few minutes ago, under Billy Graham. Every time we've been together, he's told me certain things. One thing he told me, he says, I've read 7,000 biographies. I don't think I know anybody who's read 5 biographies. I don't think I've met anybody in my lifetime who's read 5 biographies. I stared at him. And he said something to me. He said, I asked him, what's the keys? Questions are often proof of admiration. Questions are often proof. What would you talk to somebody like that about? These are my questions I ask him. What would you do differently if you could begin your life over again? What are the 3 most powerful secrets you've ever discovered about people? What are the greatest secrets? What are 3 secrets? They don't have time to give you their life story. I'd say, what's the most important thing about the money world I should know? What should I know at my age? What do you wish I knew? If I wanted to change my life quickly, what are 3 steps toward change? You have no right to anything you haven't pursued. He told me one sentence that stays in my mind continuously now for years. He said, never, never repeat an instruction. I said, brother, I've got 85 employees. I would never get anything done if I didn't repeat my instructions. He said, they train you. Instead of you training them, they train you as they refuse to listen to you, and you have to repeat it again and repeat it again. Now, this is an Australian billionaire. Never, never repeat an instruction. Or Roberts had told me that repetition is the secret to teaching. Where are you untrained? Where would you love to be trained? What's the price you're willing to pay to be trained? I paid a man $10,000 to train me for 8 hours on the law of presentation, just one law. I want to say that again. I paid a man $10,000 and sat in his house for 8 hours to be trained on one law. There's 72 laws that are important. The law of presenting yourself to others. I sat with FBI agents learning one law. $1,500 I paid for the day. The law of interrogation. What? The law of interrogating an environment to see what's different, usable, applicable, what needs to be improved, changed. I'll make this my last little video of the night. God's not in control of everything, or there'd be no rapists, no wars. God's not in control of everything, there'd be no drugs. 47 million people in America wouldn't believe in killing little babies if God was in control. Jesus would have never told us in Matthew 6 to pray for the will of God to be done if everything was in control. God gave us the right to customize our world. I'm going to ask you some questions. Who do you trust? And what's the proof they're trustworthy? If you could change any weakness in you, what would it be? What do you believe is your greatest weakness? Where do you want to improve your life? Where are you willingly ignorant? One of my biggest weaknesses, I have no inspiration. None whatsoever for physical exercise. Now, when I was 36, I ran 5 miles a day. At 77, I don't quite feel like doing that anymore. Who is capable of inspiring me? I have to ask that question every day of my life. Is there anybody in my life capable of inspiring me for exercise? Because you have to have exercise. You have to have inspiration for that. One last time I want to mention the 2-Minute Wisdom book. It's 30 pages. It's wisdom key after wisdom key. And here's how to order. Well, thought I had it. Here's how to order it. Book 248. I've written hundreds. Your copy's free. Yes, I pay my whole staff to ship you a free copy. And if you want 5 copies for 5 people you like, only $10, $2 a copy. I spent 19 years writing one book, 19 years, on Solomon's 31 Secrets. I studied the life of Solomon 19 years. When I sold the book for $15, people negotiated with me, argued with me. And I sat there and thought about one lady. I said, ma'am, I took 19 years to finish this book, and you're mad because I charged $15. That means you're buying me for $1 a year. You're buying my research for $1 a year. Crazy, isn't it? Thank you for listening to me tonight. Mike Murdoch here. Every day at 11 a.m. call Heaven at 11 a.m. Texas time. Watch me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Good night. I really appreciate you investing these moments with me.